Thanks, Andrea. And I need to read from my notes, the notes that I was retired back then. It's a real pleasure for me to be here today addressing MMC 2016 on behalf of WMO's Instruments and Methods of Observation program. And thanks, Andrea, for the opportunity. CIMO, the Commission for Instruments and Methods of Observation, is one of 8 technical commissions of WMO. It's one of the very first, founded back in the late 1800s by the then International Meteorological Organisation. It became WMO in the 1950s. And since then, CIMO has been striving to promote and facilitate international standardisation and compatibility of measurements globally. All as a contribution for WMO's WIGOS, the WMO Integrated Global Observing System. It's a massive system. It's over 100,000 stations worldwide, all making atmospheric measurements. I mean, measurement atmospheric, also ocean and land measurements all over the globe. With issues, of course, for standardisation, for traceability of observations. The aim is to improve the quality of the products and services that we provide, or that the WMO members provide to their communities, in support of the requirements for WMO cross-cutting areas such as the Global Framework for Climate Services and most recently the Global Cryosphere Watch. CIMO's strategy is to coordinate collective actions by member nations in respect to observing systems where we can achieve results that far exceed what each member could individually achieve. So we try to do things where it makes a difference, to tackle them in a unified way, and to disseminate those results worldwide to all WMO members. CIMO activities typically encompass, promotion of standardisation and traceability, 2 words you're all very familiar with, development and publication of guidance on instruments and methods of observation, instrument intercomparisons, and organisation and capacity building activities, such as training workshops and technical conferences such as TECO, our TECO conference this year, which for the first time is 4 days, for the first time is formally joined with MMC to bring in the strength of the meteorological community. It really promises to be a huge year this year. I don't quite know why yet, but we've doubled our normal capacity and we're still scratching our heads as to why. Perhaps it's because we joined with MMC. Perhaps it's because we have the SATCOM forum going on in parallel. Perhaps it's because for the second time now we're joining with UKIP, the exhibition organisers, who put on a very good exhibition. All of us have found numbers way exceeding anything we expected. And so it's a bit of an unknown quantity this week. We don't know whether we'll have enough seats at each session of each conference. So we'll just have to wait to see if that happens. CIMO actively collaborates with the instrument manufacturers, the people next door, you'll see tomorrow onwards, primarily through the Association of Hydro-Meteorological Equipment Industry, HMEI. And we also collaborate with the scientific community and other international organisations such as ISO and VIPM. In fact, I was at an ISO meeting here and at CEM on Thursday, Friday. We're putting together a weather radar standard. So CIMO is no newcomer to the challenges of improving the quality and traceability of meteorological field observations, but despite over a century, we still don't have all the answers and we still have a long way to go to be where we want to be. And that's why it was really welcome news for us when we first heard of Meteomet, which was the first, as far as I know, the Euromet initiative to actually tackle metrology for meteorology. Excuse me. Explicitly. We saw that as a really good opportunity to get the meteorological community working directly with us to tackle some of the more challenging problems that we face in meteorological measurement. So we thought that by bringing the two communities together to address the issues, we were more likely to make significant progress than could be achieved by either community working on its own. The kick-off meeting in Torino, which I remember very well, I was amazed at the breadth and the ambitiousness of the plans for Meteomet, but I must say I was a bit dubious about, oh, you saw me writing those names, can they really achieve this stuff? I thought some of the tasks were a bit too difficult, and I also wondered how well the meteorological community understood the difficulties of doing measurements or traceability measurements in the field. It's one thing to have very nicely traceable and very tight uncertainties associated with measurements in the laboratory, but to go out there in the middle of the paddock, in the middle of winter, inside the Arctic Circle, or 5,000 metres up a mountain, as the case may be, that presents unique challenges. And I thought, well, I think you guys are in for a bit of a shock. But okay, you've proved me wrong, well and truly. I think Meteomet was incredibly successful. It convinced me that this was a good idea. I think Bertrand Calpini, the president of CMO, is similarly impressed with the progress that's been made under Meteomet. And I, in particular, am a very strong supporter. Okay, then along came Meteomet 2, with even closer partnering of the meteorological community than was possible under the first Meteomet, because it involved the full-on involvement of not only the National Measurement Institutes but also the Met Services. And that to me promised to accomplish even more than Meteomet. We had the kick-off meeting in Bordeaux back in 2014. That was fantastic. It was not only the end, really, of Meteomet 1, but the kick-off of Meteomet 2, and it was clear to me that Meteomet 2 was going to start at full pace, whereas Meteomet sort of started had a standing start and had to speed up. It was clear that you hit the ground running for Meteomet 2. And now we're at the halfway point. So here we are for MMC 2016, at the halfway point in Meteomet 2, and just to look through the conference program suggests that it really has made a lot of progress in a very short time, both in atmosphere, ocean and land measurements. So one thing I should say too, Wednesday afternoon or morning, the soil moisture workshop. I probably won't be able to get there. I will if Bertrand's not looking and I can sneak out. But I really recommend that. This is a particularly key measurement, soil moisture. It's critical for numerical weather prediction, for climate modelling, and we don't do very well at it. So any assistance that Meteomet can provide to us will be really, really useful. Okay. I also should say that since the arrival of Meteomet, CMO and our expert teams have been really strengthened by participation from experts from the Meteomet community, and we're really thankful for that. We're really grateful for it, and we encourage you to continue as members of our expert teams. It really brings another perspective and it brings the meteorological perspective more directly into all the work we do under the expert teams. So thanks to those who've been serving in the expert teams, and please keep doing so. So okay, here we are in Madrid. We've got both conferences going on this week, Meteomet to start with and then TECO thereafter. We've got more presentations than we've ever had to deal with before. It's such from an organisational perspective and from a participant perspective, you've got the opportunity to see more science or see more progress in science than we've ever had in the one place before. So make the most of it. I'm not going to take any more of your time now because I know we've got a busy program to get on with, but I wish you the best of luck best wishes for the conferences this week, and I hope you enjoy your time in Madrid. Thanks very much.